welcome back everyone. This is Diego from the Art Trike, and for today's Media Minute, we're going to be taking a look at the tools that I carry with me every day. This case right here goes with me everywhere I go. This case right here has all the tools that I use on a daily basis to make sketches, drawings, and just to be creative. Here's a quick glimpse of what's inside. Pencils, inking tools, including a white gel pen and some micron pens. And on this side, I have a big old Sharpie that I call Big Betty, some extra leads for my drafting pencils, erasers, a ruler, you know, all the little extras that I need to create stuff. Let's go ahead and take a closer look. First up, I have my drafting tools. These are all extra little tools that I use. We have Big Betty. We have this foldable ruler. It's really great because it folds right at 6 inches. What else do I have here? Here's a little easy to use compass. Oops, broke it. Let me pop this back in. I borrowed this compass from a friend of mine. One day I might give it back to him. Alright, so you press your finger down, and when you stick your pencil into one of these little spots, it makes a circle for you. This tool right here is used more for lettering on comic strips. I do it for fun. And here are the turquoise leads and the red ones for my drafting pencils. These are great if you are going to scan your artwork for digital use. When you scan it, the blue and the red don't come up. Here are the refill pods for my Untitled Brush Pen. Here are some leads for my mechanical pencils in different sizes, a kneaded eraser. These things are always fun to play with. And a gum Arabic eraser, or a gum eraser. And of course the case. Alright, let's use some of these tools. I'm going to be using my compass tool to create some circles, and my pencil, my mechanical pencil. Before I start getting too deep into the details, I really like to lay out the big shapes of what I'm planning on drawing. Here I'm just drawing some circles. I have an idea, so I'm going to create some circles where I want them to be laid out. I have to use my mechanical pencil because the lead on this drafting pencil is just too thick. Let's take a look at these. These are just your run-of-the-mill drafting mechanical pencils, but I like to use them for my drawing. As I mentioned before, these are used to sketch out drawings that you are planning on inking later on and scanning. And when you scan these, the blue and the red are very easy to get rid of, and all you're left with is the black ink. Okay, so these are the 5 mechanical pencils that I travel with. We have a size 0.3 lead. There it is, zoomed in. We have a 0.5 and a 0.7. And these drafting tool ones are a little thicker than the 0.7. I think they're around a 1 or 1.2. So now that I have the big shapes laid out, I'm gonna go ahead and use this blue drafting pencil to create a final sketch. And then on this final sketch, I'm gonna add more details. But again, this is just a sketch. Now, even though I'm adding some details on this one, this sketch, when it turns into a final drawing, may end up looking a little different. I may remove some lines, I may add some lines. And as I continue to draw this little character might look familiar to some of you. I'm just trying to get the eyes right on this guy. Alright, time to use my ruler to lay out some more shapes. And I can add some more details on it. Some of you might recognize this character from a certain anime. My daughters watched it and they loved it, and they got me into it, so I decided to draw it. It's really meant for the bigger kids, so little kids shouldn't be watching this, but it's a cute character, so I'll go ahead and draw it for y'all. Okay, let's take a look at some more tools. These are my inking tools, and I have a few different ones. This one is my favorite, the Pentel ink brush. It has a brush tip, and if I apply different amounts of pressure, I can get different thicknesses of line. I can get thin lines, I can get thicker lines. This one is almost the same thing, but the ink's a little different. And I have this Prismacolor Brush Pen. This one is in red, and every once in a while I like to add some accent colors to my sketches, just for fun. And to finish off this little set, I have my gel pen, my Jelly Roll White Ink Gel Pen. This one just adds a little bit of highlights here and there. It's great for when you're sketching. Also in this case, I have lots of micro pens in different sizes, ranging from a 2 to an 8. These are great. These are my go-to inking tools. I have plenty in my case, I have plenty at home, and I have plenty on my desk at work. And then I also have these Prismacolor brush pens. And this Prisma one is great. It has a tapered tip. I can get really nice thick lines, or if I use the edge, I can get some really nice thin lines. So these are it. 2 brush pens, different sized micron pens, and that angled Prismacolor. All right, so I'm gonna use my micron pen to outline it. I'm gonna go ahead and keep hush hush so you guys can enjoy this video. And right now I'm just using my micron pen to outline the edges. The blue line that I use for the sketch, that's more of a suggestion than a final product. This black ink does make it the final product, so I have to be careful what I lay down. I'm keeping the details that I want, and I am getting rid of, or I'm ignoring the lines that I don't want. Very important, rotate your paper, guys. Don't think that your paper always has to be right side up. If it's easier for you to draw a line if you rotate the paper, then go ahead and do so. And ta-da, I'm erasing the pencils. Now I'm using Big Betty to fill in the big dark areas. This big Sharpie comes in handy when I have lots of big spaces to fill in. Since I'm going to be scanning and using this for a digital file, I don't worry too much about the minor mistakes that I make. I can always touch them up or fix them on Photoshop. Switching over to my brush pen, I'm gonna want to get a variation of lines, thick and thin, thick to thin, or thin to thick. Adding some more details. I didn't like the way this ear looked, so I used this big thick black line to hide my mistakes. And if I hadn't mentioned it, no one would have noticed. Adding some thicker lines in different areas just to give it a variation of lines. You don't want to have the same type of line everywhere. You want to vary thick to thin. And I'm going back to my micron pen to add some hatching for some darker values. I'm just using this drafting tool to kind of plan out where my hatching lines are going to stop as I add this value to the lower half of the face here. And up close, you're going to notice really well how not perfect they are. And they don't have to be. When we see these drawings from a distance, they look pretty awesome. So don't worry about them looking perfect up close. Rotating my paper to add these hatch lines. It's easier. It is easier to ink coming towards you, so rotate your paper so the pen or the inking tool is coming to you instead of away from you. And the last thing I want to do is add some thicker lines with my brush pen. Not everywhere, just on the outside of this drawing. And there you go, everyone. Thank y'all for watching. This has been another Medium Minute video. I hope you enjoy the drawing. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.